Hello children, my name is Tanya Banerjee. Today I am going to take you to the land of daffodils. The poem The Daffodils was written by William Wordsworth. Now who is this William Wordsworth? He is one of the most renowned romantic poets. Now what do I mean when I say romantic poet? I essentially mean that romantic poets are the ones who uses the language of the common people, in order to express themselves in poetry. Now why do they do so? Why do they write so lucidly? So that the common people, the common man and woman can easily comprehend to what the poet actually wants to express. So let's move on and see what's there. And let's first answer this question: who inspired William Wordsworth to write this particular poem? There too is an interesting story, and it's given there in your book as well. One day when he was walking with his sister, he came upon a belt of daffodils. Now those of you who don't know what daffodils are, Google it. You'll find they are beautiful, bright yellow flowers. I told you it's a beautiful bright yellow flower, and when there are thousands of daffodils in bloom, imagine how wonderful the sight must be. Yes, so the poet saw a belt of daffodils beside a lake with the wind blowing over the flowers, and the sight of the vast expanse of the yellow flowers is what inspired William Wordsworth to write this remarkable poem. He calls on to the readers, that the mere memory of the sight of those daffodils would lift his spirit whenever he felt dejected or whenever he was depressed. So, nature, the nature lovers are the ones who understand the real wealth. How it happens to be a real wealth and not a materialistic wealth that's important in life. The real wealth of life is but nature, because nature can lift our spirit. Whenever we feel low, whenever we feel dejected, depressed, nature can come at our rescue. And the romantic poets usually they believe in celebrating nature in their poems. And this particular poem is, you can call it an eulogy or a tribute to the restorative power of nature. It is an important phrase, restorative powers of nature. It's a tribute to the restorative powers of nature. It's an important phrase. I would urge you to use this while writing your answer. Now, nature has the power to heal. That whenever one is feeling low, just a sight of this kind of wonderful flowers actually can lift your spirit. You people are preparing for class 10s, right? So you might feel at times so depressed, you might feel low. Then go out, spend some time in your garden. Looking at the greenery around can lift your spirit. You can you'll feel some kind of positive vibes around you, right? So can we move on to the poem? Let's see what Daffodils has in store for us. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon the inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. This is indeed a very lucid but beautiful poem, right? Let's see, let's come to the explanation of the first stanza, right? I wandered lonely as a cloud. What is the meaning of wandered? The word wandered means moving out, moving about aimlessly, right? Someone who is moving about aimlessly. Yes, but at the same time, wandered lonely as a cloud. What is a cloud? A cloud is something that which can move about from one part of the sky to the other. Yes, they move about from one part of the sky to the other, right, over the earth. So it conveys the sense of being well travelled. So while wandered gives you a sense of moving aimlessly, it also tells you that he is a very well travelled man. Yes, the next or the third most important word here is lonely. Okay, it is conveying that he is alone and is without any company. Just clouds move around you lonely though they are part of a group. Okay, that has a sense of being lonely while being a part of the vast expanse. Okay, now I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills. So what are vales? Vales essentially mean valleys. Okay, so they float on valleys, over valleys and hills. When all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils. He is kind of giving you an imagery of being a cloud, okay, which from the top almost like a drone shot is able to view or is getting the vision of the vast expanse of daffodils, you know, from the top. Okay, beside the lake, beneath the trees, dancing in the breeze. They are dancing in the breeze, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Just look at the power of language, the kind of language that William Wordsworth is using. So powerful. I told you, lucid. Yes, yet it is kind of framing. It is kind of painting a picture of the scenery. We can visualize the daffodils in front of us. So beautiful is the use of language here. Now if we come to the first line, lonely, I wandered lonely as a cloud. As a cloud. So this is a figure of speech, simile. Now simile is a comparison made using as or like. So there's a comparison with the cloud. Yes. Now if we come to the last line of the first stanza, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. So in this line, daffodils are personified. What is personification, children? It is basically giving humane qualities, okay, to inanimate objects. Now flutter, who flutter? Butterflies flutter, right? Or birds. And dance, we human beings also dance, right? When we are very happy, yes, we do. So the daffodils are also fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. Continuous as the stars that shine. So continuous as in unending. When you see it, it almost looks like the daffodils are unending. Yes? And twinkle on the Milky Way. Why is he bringing about a comparison with the Milky Way now? Because Milky Way is the galaxy which contains billions and billions of stars, planets, right? It contains our entire solar system. Yes? And it kind of glitters and shimmers. So the daffodils are like the Milky Way in terms of the sheer number of daffodils, and he is kind of comparing it with the solar system, the planets and the stars in the Milky Way. They stretched in never-ending line. Can you see he is kind of again and again reinforcing the very fact that there are hundreds and thousands of daffodils that he could see along the margin of a bay. So what is a bay? It is a small stretch of a water body bifurcated from the main water body. Okay. Now, along the margin of the bay, there are the daffodils. 10,000 saw I at a glance. This is an exaggeration. Children, can you count the daffodils in front? Or could William Wordsworth count the daffodils? No, right? So, this is mere exaggeration. You wanted to show that there were many in number. There were hundreds and thousands in number. Okay, so this is a figure of speech. Here is the use of a figure of speech again, that is hyperbole. Okay, exaggeration. Tossing their heads in sprightly dance. So, the daffodils, what are they doing? They are kind of dancing merrily. Okay, tossing their heads. The waves beside them dance, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. So, the water body beside, that is the lake, beside the lake, beneath the trees, right? Beside the waves, beside them, beside the daffodils were dancing. But what did the daffodils that outdid that sparkling waves in glee? So with the kind of dance, with the kind of fluttering, they outdid those sparkling waves. A poet could not but be gay. A poet could not help but be happy. Okay, in such a jocund company. What is the meaning of the word jocund now? It means happy. Okay, so the poet, being in such a happy company, he cannot help but enjoy himself. Okay, he cannot help but be gay. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. So, this line is conveying what wealth the show to me had brought. Yes, it is conveying the very idea that the nature is the real wealth. We can exclude all the materialistic wealth, okay, in life, but it is nature which comes to our rescue at times when we are very low, when we feel very depressed. You know, being close to nature, we feel comfortable, we feel comforted. Yes. For oft when on my couch I lie in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye which is the bliss of solitude. So from the first paragraph to the last paragraph, for oft when on my couch I lie. So he is referring to his loneliness again. So when he is lying lonely on his couch in vacant or in pensive mood. What's the meaning of pensive? It means thoughtful. Pensive means thoughtful. They flash upon that inward eye. Now please underline inward eye. It means thought, his inner thought. So whenever he is alone, sitting alone vacant means whenever staring at nothing. Okay, staring at nothingness. So he recalls his memory when he can visualize that landscape full of daffodils, right? Which is his bliss of solitude. So solitude, loneliness becomes a blessing to him. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. So he kind of captured the very sight in the camera of his mind, you know. He's able to paint a canvas of a very picturesque setting for us. Wow, what power of language we have witnessed, right? All of us must be thinking so. Yes, so the Daffodils it's one of the very easy poems you have in your syllabus. I would want all of you to go through the poem very well and understand the inner meaning, what the poet wants to convey. Okay, thank you then. We'll meet some other time.